from Warsenal Studio B in Chandler, Arizona, this is MayaCast. Welcome to another edition of MayaCast. I'm your host, Tom Shadle.
And I'm your host, Kip Parcell.
And this is episode 202 for Friday, October 12th, 2018. Multitasking. Coming up on today's show, we are going to go through the factions and pick out those specialists that can handle many lots of the new classified deck cards all on their lonesome with no help from their friends. And for efficiency's sake. But first, we have some errata, and this is really dumb. Last week, we were talking about the new ITS, and we talked about the Xenotech. And I said it doesn't require a roll, which is funny, because at dinner prior to recording, we talked about it at dinner, how you can waste so many orders if failing that roll. And so it does require willpower for the Xenotech to place the multi-scanner. And it says so right there in the rules. Mm-hmm. Sort of. They're not really in the same order as all the other skills, but maybe it'll get worked out one day. But it's right there. They have to make a willpower roll to place it. And Xenotechs are civilian profiles, so they are willpower 11.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Some missions do give you a bonus of 3 out of so 6 missions have the Xenotech. 3 out of those 6 give you a bonus. In acquisition, engineers and hackers get +3. In Power Pack, Chain of Command gives you a +3 to place the multi-scanner. And in Supremacy, hackers give you a +3.
So if you have them synced to those
if you have
profiles.
them on the table, I think is what it says. But
dang. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Check Comlog, the Comlog app, for all your ITS mission needs. But yeah, I was like, yeah, it doesn't need a roll. You just have to do, because I was just burnt, like it's a order tax, blah, blah, right? No, totally requires a roll. And we had talked about it just prior to recording. But hey, we're not smart. The presence of one or more allied engineers or hackers on the game table in any non-null state gives a +3 modifier to the willpower roll to place multi-scanner. So it's just on the table, kind of like an Evo hacker, and jumping in. So, next, we want to give out some goodies to our generous supporters over at patreon.com. Remember, we're trying to catch up. We did 2 for each support level last week, and we're doing it again. And we'll start with our 2 light infantry folks. And these will each receive 1 blister. Kip, who are they?
The first one is JS Crush. And that just sounds like a pretty awesome name, actually.
Crush with a K.
Yeah, Crush with a K. The second winner of the blister is going to be Stephen Leach. And for medium infantry, our first medium infantry winner is going to win a custom tournament box from Black Sheep Industries. This is one of his standard slimline tournament boxes that holds your Infinity templates, your Infinity tokens, and has a custom lid with the circles cut out for you to put your model's bases in. And this pattern is only available at certain events, so you can't just get it off the website. And the cover of that lid, when you flip it over, has the Arizona Armageddon 3 logo. So this was donated by Luke at Black Sheep. We appreciate his support. Check out Black Sheep Industries on Facebook and all the cool stuff that he makes, including terrain and these awesome Infinity boxes. And the winner of that is J. Rasbo.
Congratulations,
Rasbo.
Initial J. And then the winner of any Infinity box set that they wish, any regular size Infinity box set. It's a shame he didn't win till now, because I could have given it to him over the weekend. He was here all weekend at Arizona Armageddon. Kip.
Brian Sant.
Congratulations, Brian. Now, we're doing something different for heavy infantry, and some of the feedback I got at Armageddon said, no offense, but that's actually cooler than a painted model.
That's cool.
Is that our friend and longtime friend of the show, longtime supporter, Florian Stitz, who's an amazingly talented professional artiste, is willing to do some drawings
some Infinity-themed drawings for you, whether you want it to sort of look like you or you just want a drawing of a Gal Rail because you like your Nighthawk. And whatever it is, he will do an Infinity Sketch original for you that no one else has. And we have 2 winners of that awesome prize for our heavy infantry supporters over at patreon.com. And they are...
First one is Rasmus McDowell. I hope I said that right.
He was also here this weekend at Arizona Armageddon, all the way from Sweden. Congratulations to Rasmus. And our last winner, courtesy of random.org, is...
Mark Wilson.
So, Mark Wilson, Rasmus McDowell, Brian Sant, Jay Rasbo, Stephen Leach, and JS Crush. Please email Tom at MayaCast.com.
And Kip at MayaCast.com.
And let us know exactly what you would like for your prizes. With the Black Sheep bot, Mr. Rasbo, we just need your address, and we'll get that off to you as soon as we can. So thank you, all of our patrons, for all your support. We will draw some more winners next week and be all caught up, and we're bad people for letting it go so long. Alrighty then. So with that out of the way, we have 2 new events to announce. Remember, if you'd like your event announced on the show, send all of the details. Please include the date. Please include a link. And send that to Tom at MayaCast.com.
And Kip at MayaCast.com.
We will read it on the show so people can hear about it. And we will also include a link in our show notes that will last on our show notes until your event has passed, so that people can go to the show notes, find events near them, click on them, and get all the details. Kip, what do you have for us first?
Looks like this one is going to be somewhat local because our city's so big. This is going to be up at I.O. That is Imperial Outpost Games in Glendale, Arizona. It looks like they're doing a 20-person tournament, and it's going to be, what he says is, Thanksgiving is fast approaching, and what better way to celebrate than with some friends, dice, and a small scale interplanetary conquest. So, on Sunday, November 11th, it looks like there's going to be a tournament for 20 people with a $10 entry fee, 2 lists as normal with 300 points. And looks like they're going to be using the Soldiers of Fortune. A little bonus there. It says this will not be an ITS tournament, but they were still using ITS-ish missions with just a hint of pumpkin spice. So the missions will be chop till you drop prone in Deadly Dance, claim Nana Makayana's inheritance in Goodwill Hunting Party. It said Nana, not Tony. And finally bring home the turkey bacon in Unbasting. So looks like there's going to be some little twists to Unmasking, Hunting Party, and Deadly Dance. And again, that's going to be on November 11th.
Unbasting.
Yeah, I know, right?
On November 18th, and I know that because I went to the link to find the date. On November 18th, we have a new event down under in North Queensland. This comes from Dennis Wade. He says, Dear Thomas and Kippers, or Kippers and Thomas, we have a new event down under in North Queensland. It's the Townsville Tactical Trauma Fest 2018. This is the first inaugural event held in the capital of North Queensland. Not an actual thing. It'll be a 3-round mid-tier ITS event. The missions will be capture and protect, show of force, and supplies. This will be an official, not official warm-up event for HeroCon in Brisbane in December. Big thanks to our awesome local sponsors, Toy Soldier Imports, Laser Shark Designs, and Realms of Might and Magic. And there will be a link to that event in our show notes, as well as the one in Glendale, Arizona, if you're interested in either of those. And Australia, only slightly farther than Glendale for us. So again, if you want your event promoted on the show, please send it in to us. We'll read it on air once and then keep it in the show notes until it has passed so people can find it. And if you're interested in going to events, check out the show notes so that you can see if there's one near you. You may have noticed that this week, the
MayaCast Master Glass Quarter 3 Heroes and Villains Gallery went up on Facebook. That contest is over. We have the winners for you, but we are going to do that at the end of the show. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our specialists and classified multitasker portion of the show.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles.
Very heavy resistance, sir.
Yes. But why are they using such primitive weapons?
Now entering the war room. All right, so with the new classified deck, there are 20 different classifieds. And if you want to be prepared to tackle all of them, be prepared for any eventuality, you are going to need a medium or heavy infantry. Mm-hmm. You're going to need something that's either veteran, elite, or has chain of command, or is listed as a character because they count as veterans this season. You're going to need something that has a biometric visor, MSV, or sensor. You're going to need a doctor or paramedic. You're going to need somebody with D charges. You're going to need a hacker. You're going to need an engineer. And you're going to need either a forward observer or somebody that has the Spotlight hacking program. That's a lot of things to consider, to take all of those and still have room for guns or that cool new release with the new rule you wanted to try out, right? And so we thought, let's go through and find the most efficient people that can cover many multiples of these classifieds, all in one shot, all in one profile, so that while that's a long list of things that you need, maybe we can cut that down by finding people that do many of them at once. It's funny, we used to have no classifieds. It was just bring all the guns and kill all the people.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then we needed a pretty short list. Doctor Paramedic, Forward Observer, Hacker, Engineer, somebody with D charges. Also engineers generally tend to have those. And then later, last year, they added the whole veteran elite chain of command thing because you had to go kidnap the HVT as one of them, right?
It was like preparing us for
So
the
now
change.
So little by little, there are more and more things that are air quotes required for an army list to be prepared for whatever classified you may draw. So let's begin at the beginning with the hyperpower Pan-Oceania. So, for me, and when there were a top three, I did a top three. Some factions, there were not a top three. But,
okay.
But in my third place for Pan-Oceania, able to complete 14 out of those 20 cards. Now, it should be said that 4 of the cards, technically anyone can do. There is no requirement. So we're including that 4, or I'm including that 4. When
I included them in certain ones.
When I say they can do 14, that includes those 4. And not always is the number one place for me going to be the one that can do the most. Because sometimes it's more valuable to have somebody that can actually survive long enough to get where they need to go in order to do it. But my with all the caveats out of the way, well, no, one more caveat. And we're not saying these are the best specialists available to each faction. These are just the ones that can do the most and are also kind of good. Somebody might say, well, what about I always take a blah. I always take the Croc Man. Spoiler alert, Croc Man's not on my list. I always take a Croc Man. And I can't believe you didn't say Croc Man. We're not saying what is the best because he's a TO Camo Infiltrator. And right, we're saying who can do the most for the least amount of slots in your force organization chart. Your force organization chart. You have to take 2 troops and 1 HQ.
Exactly. It's been a while since I heard that. It kind of put me in shock.
It's funny you say shock because my third place, able to do 14 of the cards, is the Bogmari Assault Hacker. The Bogmari with Assault Hacker device, he's a veteran troop. He's medium infantry, right? He has MSV. He is a hacker. So he can do all the hacking ones, plus he can do the ones that require Spotlight hacking program. So yeah, he can do 14 of the things. He's not bad at Whip 13. It's got mimetism. He is only 4-2 movement.
But in this, he's medium infantry so this year he gets forward deployment level 1.
They do indeed, those Bogmaris, and they also have multi-terrain. So useful in missions like rescue, where there's a whole bunch of difficult terrain between you and the civilian you need to go grab. Mm-hmm. And he's likely going to be in Shock Army, where there's a fire team that can also cover some holes in those 6 cards that he can't do. For example, the Bagmari with number 2 also has decharges. There's a paramedic option that can cover 3 more cards. So, yeah, Bagmari, not bad.
That's actually really funny that you did that, because I actually scratched out the Bagmari off of mine, because the way I originally did it was I did all the things that they could do on the cards, and then I looked at I called them the 4 no-recs, because anybody can do them. And I was like, how likely are they going to be able to do all of them? And I only gave him credit for the rescue, because I was like, man, it is only 4-2. So I didn't even have the hacker on there, because I totally overlooked the hacking device when I was doing mine. So I was like, dang, there it is. I knew Tom was going to come out with something that I totally overlooked.
I went with possible, not necessarily likely.
There you go. I like that.
They can.
I like that,
it's
though.
possible they can do all 4 of those cards that have no requirements.
Yeah, it actually is very possible. But at Close Combat 14, you're like, ooh, Predator's rough. But it is possible.
It's definitely
Because
possible.
there's light infantry out there that have worse.
Remember, Dr. Worm can take out Saito Togen.
Exactly. Or a 10-point forward observer. What is that, Mark? What's a proxy Mark 5? Yeah, it took out Shinobu Kitsune last time I used her. So in close combat.
Did you do 3 places, or did you?
I did not. When you said you ranked them 3, my number 1.
Well, I started at 3. You starting at 1?
Oh, dang! Your number 3 is a 14. Because.
Well, like I said, it's not necessarily just the amount.
Oh, okay. That's why I was thinking you were going 1 down. I did
pick
not do
one
a
of
top
yours,
3.
then. Just pick one of yours.
I would probably go with.
Did you at least limit it to 3?
No, I wrote down every.
You don't remember
single one.
anything we said at the end of last episode, do you?
No,
Okay.
dude, I went on vacation and I got really, really sick. So yeah, that's probably why it took me longer to do mine.
E. coli.
Yeah, I still have it, even while we're.
Well, then I'm not eating
recording
your
this
hamburgers,
show.
sir.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, that'd be hard for me to go top 3.
No, don't worry about it. If you didn't do it, just pick one. If you
I'd have to go with. I'll do the Seek hacker, actually, because I like the AD. Okay, usually I don't like AD combat jump hackers, because you can drop them and then people are like, oh, I'm just going to hack you. But with the classifieds, I had them as a 12-pointer, which would actually bump them to a 13-pointer with doing all of them. Because it's like you said, they're elite, meat infantry. They have that. He's an assault hacker, I believe. I'd have to pull it back up.
He is.
So that means you can do all of the hacking and all of the spotlight programs. And the fact that you can jump in, it makes it a heck of a lot easier for you to do extreme prejudice, extremist recovery, rescue, and or the not so likely predator skill. But I picked that as probably my 3rd, because the other 2 that I have ranked pretty high, factoring in the fire teams, I like a lot better.
Well, this is individual efficiency kit.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can factor in fire teams. Now you're talking about 5 models, not just 1.
Well, I understand.
So my second, even though he can do less, he can do 13, not 14 like the Bagmari. It is Gabriel de Ferzen. And the reason he ranked ahead is because he's a lot more survivable than that Bagmari. He's a character, so he's veteran. He's heavy infantry, so he can do those 3. He is a hacker, so he can do those 5, the 3 hackers and the 2 spotlights. And he's whip 14 in Pano, which is exciting for a specialist. Especially in N3 when he's 4-4, not 4-2, like he used to be. He is armor 4 with 2 wounds, like I said, survivable. And he's actually good at some of those generic ones that don't have requirements, like Predator, where you have to go kill people in close combat.
I'm going to agree with you. And this is the one time that our point system was on, and it is the DeFerson, because he was my next one. Really cool character, but I like him because he's survivable. and high wounds. And that's why I was saying, man, teaming him up in where he can really shine, he's even better. I would probably score him higher. But yeah, Deferson, definitely on my list. Because, man, you know what, when I was reading, like going through all of these, I like how they make these changes to make you look at things different. You're like, oh, man, veteran and heavy infantry, now I really kind of want those types of things. And it makes, like, veteran hackers extremely useful because they knock out, like, just being a hacker, you're knocking out, like, 25% of the deck. But then adding a veteran, you get another 3. You know, it's pretty nice. It's pretty freaking nice.
And...
Not 3%, but 3 cards.
Yeah. And for my number 1 spot, even better than Deferson, able to knock out 14 of the cards, is the Father Knight Hacker. Assault hacking device, so there's 5. He's veteran, so there's 3 more. He's a heavy infantry, there's 1. He is a hacker, which I already said. He's 5, but I wrote it twice. And he's got D charges in addition to being a hacker, right? And veteran and heavy infantry. So that's even another one that he can do. He has Whip 13, which is Pano strong. Armor 5 and 2 wounds, so he is survivable and can get there. And if somebody makes the mistake of leaving a model out in front of him, he can get there even faster and more efficiently by assaulting the dude and getting his 8 inches plus the close combat. Good luck with that. Yeah, so Father Knight Hacker is my number 1 for efficiency, being able to do 14 cards all on his own. Which model of that price you want them to be able to do.
Right. You know what's funny? Man, I don't know why.
As well as hold his own in combat.
Yeah, well, I don't know why I always miss things. I'm like, how did I miss a Father Knight Hacker? So I would agree with Tom that is the number 1, but I can't cheat and go, yeah, for all the same reasons, because I actually forgot to even put that on my list at all. So insert tagline here, I am an idiot.
That was said so many times this weekend at Armageddon.
Good.
So many people said, I am an idiot.
That's good. That makes me happy.
Or Q-Kip's tagline.
Good. I can't believe I missed that. That's usually one of my favorite just quote-unquote specialists before this for Pano. When I did my quick ranking really fast on air in real time, I actually was going to put a Hospitaller Knight I only had it at 11 points, but I like that it's elite, heavy infantry, doctor, which it does less of them, but it's one of the easiest ones to do nano espionage, because that's the one where you have to like get in and just perform a short skill while engaged. And you're like, man, that's kind of rough, because I don't know if they came out to say if that needs to be standing or in a null state, because the other ones state that they have to be in a null state or unconscious. So this one just says engaged state with an enemy specialist. So
well, right, and we talked about this last week where we said that the hard mode says enemy specialist troop in a non-null state.
Okay, so that one's not bad.
Thereby implying that it can be a null specialist for easy mode.
So I had that.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
So he would be my number 1 in hard mode then. But yes, I agree with you on the...
Do you have any other standouts in Pano that you would like to give airtime to before we move on to their jealous younger brother, Yu Jing?
I liked...
Well, older brother, just not as successful.
I liked the Nisei Hacker. I also liked the Guarda de Assolto.
So Nisei Hacker is pretty much the Bagmari Hacker, right? He's a veteran. He's medium infantry. He's got the MSV. He's a hacker, so he can do all those. He can do the same number. He's still 4-2, right? But he doesn't have the multi-terrain like the Bagmari does, right? And he's not going to be part until Svalaraima comes out. He's not going to be part of a fire team that plugs in more holes. But yeah, so that's why Bagmari beat him out for me.
That's a good one. I actually put him on there because of MSV2, so to get through smoke. I did want to give honorable mention to Guarda de Assolto because I don't ever see anybody use that. And being a vet, heavy infantry with D charges, multi-wound, so pretty good close combat. So I was like...
But he's not a specialist. So he can't, like, do anything.
Yeah, it was just for the
Said
Eclipse Smoke,
decharge
decharges,
something, and
HVT, all the 3 heavy infantry ones. I mean, the 3 veteran ones.
yeah, I don't like that one. That's okay.
I've been trying to get him Spotlight for years. It never works.
So, moving on to the State Empire. So, Yu Jing, in third place for me, I have the Zhanying Imperial Agent. He can knock out 13 different... In fact, my 3, 2, and 1, they can all knock out 13 of the classified cards, which 13 out of 20, not bad. He is a veteran. He has a hacking device. He has decharges. He's whip 13. He is fine. He is the least expensive of these 13s that can go get a variety of work done. So, yeah, Zhanying Hacker, 32 points, half an SWC. Breaker Combi, not bad.
So off the top of my head, I did like, I have the Zhanying way up there up top. And this is 3 to 1, right?
What do you mean 3 to 1?
Like 3, and then my number 2. And my
Yeah, you don't
number
have to
1.
figure that out. You can just pick one that you like and
Okay.
talk about it.
Tiger Soldier.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Do Tiger Soldier because 80 combat. So, and this is the hacker version for the same reason that I was talking in Pano. But you do get mimetism. It's medium infantry, so you get to do the one thing that they can do, follow up. It's elite, so you can do the net undermine, capture, and all of those good things. And then hacker, it's an assault hacker, I believe. So,
It is.
That's the one thing I didn't write on my notes was if it was assault or not, but most of them are assault hackers actually. So it can do all of the things that require a hacker and can also do anything that requires Forward Observer or the Spotlight program.
Which is not ideal. Well, let's get that out there. Using a hacker to Spotlight is way
It's not
less
ideal,
good than
but
Forward
you can
Observing
do
it.
it. Yeah. And this one rounds out at a 13 for me because you do have the 4 up top, but being a troop that can 80 combat, it kind of puts you in a position to where you can do all those things. So you kind of have some leeway there. So I'll go ahead and put that as my number 3.
Just like your a cow
Yep.
in Pano, you like the jump troop to get in close to be able to do them more efficiently.
Well, especially with the HVT stuff, because you can just walk in where they put it. Because a lot of people put them on the sides.
I like the variety of the Zhanying, bringing the D-charges and covering one that's a little more different. So that's why he got that slot for me. Number 2 for me is the Hacktau assault hacking device. Again, he can do 13 different classified cards because he is elite, he is heavy infantry, he has that hacking device. Having a hacking device plus assault hacking device gets you 5 of the cards. 3 for just hackers and then 2 for Spotlight hacking program. He is whip 14, and so he is hitting those spotlights just as efficiently as a Xenotech placing a multi-scanner. And he is TO camouflage, so he can be in hidden deployment, and even when he's not in hidden deployment, he's -6 to hit on a armor 5-2 wound dude, but he does not have infiltration, so he comes in at number 2 for me.
That's funny because we're going to go in the same thing. The only reason that I didn't put the Zhanying up there was because it lacks the specials like combat jump. My number 2 would also be the Hacktau hacker for the same reasons. I like the TO camo marker, being a heavy infantry, elite, hacker. This is going to be a theme throughout all of our lists. You just knock out so many of them. And I do like the armor 5 negative freaking 6 to hit. And BTS 6, so if another hacker comes at you, you're also survivable there. So the fact that it can't infiltrate doesn't really matter because you have 2 wounds, your armor 5, TO camo, you can deploy hidden. It's a lot easier to put yourself in a position to be successful.
And my favorite, as far as efficiency and multitasking goes for Yu Jing, and covering a lot of different cards in one model and being in a place to do them quickly and efficiently, is the Dao Fei Assault Hacker.
Yeah, you know what's funny too is don't you like just dislike that new model of that as well.
I think the new model is pretty terrible. But it can do 13 cards because, once again, it's veteran, it's heavy infantry, and it's got the assault hacking device. It's only whip 13 when compared to the hack Dao. Only armor 4. And it only has camo, not TO. But it's an infiltrator. And infiltrating heavy infantry are juicy. Specialists that can knock out 13 cards. I mean, if you put aside for the fact that I'm the guy that will draw the 7 I can't do, seems pretty good.
Yeah, that was my same. He is like 2 armor less. 1 armor less, 3 BTS less. Oh my goodness, I can't even think right now.
Numbers are hard.
Yeah, they are. But like Tom said, being able to start halfway up the table, it's too good. Especially if you draw the ones where it's like the HVT that you have to be in zone of control of. You can start there and knock those out quite quickly. That's huge. Whereas everybody else, it's huge. This next one was hard, and I play this faction a lot. Ariadna. So here's where the veteran or character hackers don't come into play.
Well, right, yeah, they don't necessarily play this game. They do play the infiltrating camo specialists very well. It's just each one does one thing.
Yeah,
but you're going to have more of them because they cost less. So, and we're going to say that about a couple other factions as well,
right?
But yeah, Ariadna.
So my number 3 is going to come straight out of the good old US of A. And it's because they're veteran, medium infantry. They already have forward deployment level 1, so in this season they get level 2, so they're almost infiltrators.
It's a paramedic.
That's a paramedic. So you can do nano espionage as well as the other 4. So I have it coming in at 11 points. Is that correct, Tom?
Is it the Marauder Medic?
Yes.
Yeah, the paramedic can do 11 of the cards.
Yeah, 11 of the cards. And
he's armor 3 and he's dogged.
Yeah, that was what I really liked about it.
So you can keep going if you really need to get it done. Yeah, he can do 11, and that's pretty good for Ariadna.
Yeah, it is. Actually, their average points are pretty low per multitaskers.
And I kept going, but because they are 4-2. But they also have the extra forward deployment this season. And then, like, tied with him kind of is the Briscard forward observer, who can also do 11 of the cards because he's a veteran. He's medium infantry. He's a forward observer. He has MSV, so he gets another one of those cards that you normally can't do in Ariadna. Also whip 13. Only armor 2 and 1 wound, but he has the 4-4 movement instead of the 4-2 when you really need to book it at the end and do a bunch of moves. So those two I literally have like tied
for 3
because I can't make up my mind. Starting that far forward is definitely an advantage. And if you're playing in US, he's going to be in a fire team most likely, right? But having the 4-4 and the MSV, like, how much MSV is in Ariadna, right? It's not like what they're known for. So having that on the Briscard makes me like him for the flexibility in that spot. He's a little cheaper.
He is a little cheaper.
But my number 3, though, because that was my number 2. Those two were tied for number 2.
Oh, nice.
My number 3, because it is scarce in Ariadna to find these multitaskers that we're looking for. Like, at first, I was like, oh my gosh, Ushia can do everything. No, she can't.
No.
She can do 9 of the cards. It's not bad. And she has the advantage of having superior infiltration with her limited camo on the covert actor version. Or she can do 8. She can only do 8 cards. The one that can do 9 that I also thought was going to be really good was like, oh, she's not a character. She's a specially trained trooper.
Yeah, pay attention to that, guys, because I was like, why is Bit and Kiss not showing up? Specially trained trooper.
Rosie, Rosie the Riveter. What's her name?
Rosie Monroe.
Rosie Monroe. I was like, oh, she's going to be amazing. Oh, no, she can do 9. So anyway, my number 3, because they can do 10 of the cards, and they're all around great regardless, are Ariadna Scouts.
That's your number 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they are elite.
Yes.
So that gives them 3 that they can do right there. They are forward observers. So there's another 2. They have decharges. There's another one. And they're, camo infiltrators, so they're up there where they can decharge stuff way more efficiently than probably your Ermendine Bros can, or definitely more than your Dozers can. Whip 13, they have mines and the Ochotnik, which make them very attractive. They're pretty good.
That's actually what I put for my number 1.
Oh.
Because they can do 10. That's half of them. That's pretty good in Ariadne. And they're camo infiltrators.
Yeah,
and,
it's super valuable. My number 1 is number 1 just by virtue of the number that he can do, and it's 12, and it's the highest one I could find in Ariadne. You do 12 cards.
See who it is.
It's the Moblo Engineer.
Okay.
Moblot.
Mobot.
So the Moblot Engineer, he's a veteran and he's heavy infantry. And Engineer, he's got decharges, so he can do 12 of the cards. He's armor 3 and he's shock immune.
That's good.
It's important with all the shock that's out there. Whip 13, decent, and he's 4/4 movement. So yeah, he's a 12. But again, he's starting way in your deployment zone. Doesn't have the extra advanced deployment like the Marauder Medic does.
No. My number 1. He has 1 less point than the Moblo, but he's my number 1 because he's availability 1.
I thought you said the Scouts were your number 1.
I mean, my number 2, because we didn't get to my number 2. So my joke about being AVA number 1, which is my last one. My number 2 was Vasily Plishenko, because I had him at 11 points.
See, I don't know. I was thinking about him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Bad.
I just want him in my deployment zone with a sniper rifle shooting stuff.
Yeah, but T2 Marksman's not bad. And he's a forward.
That's really
forward
good
observer. T2 Marksman rifle. So like 8 to 24 inches is that +3. Ambush camouflage. He's starting 4 inches out of your deployment zone. That's kind of why I had him in as number 2 instead of the Scout. But I like him, and he's a really cool profile. And he can do a lot of things. Again, anything over 8 in Ariadne is quite multitasking. So coming in at 11 at my number 2, completely out of order because it makes for way better conversations.
Pretty good. Now in Ariadne, you're looking at the war driver because, especially if like highly classified's on the docket, you almost have no choice because there's no other hackers.
Yeah.
And she can, if you do the one SWC version, the what is it, assault hacker, regular hacker? I don't
It's a regular hacking device.
And because that's 5 cards. Right? And you don't want to draw 3 hacking ones and not have the war driver in highly classified. Or biotech 4 where you have to have 3 now.
Right.
Yeah, the one SWC, it's a regular hacking device. If you take the defensive hacking device, you can't do the spotlight stuff.
No.
And
Because
so-
it's only like hacker, assault hacker.
So war driver can only do 3 cards at that point instead of 5. But on the other hand, now that I think about it, you're going to have forward observers. You're going to have foxtrots or scouts or whatever. So that the ones where you need those 2 are probably already covered. So yeah, stick to the .517 just to do classifieds, I guess would be what I would do.
It's actually one of the few defensive hackers that are kind of good because she has Sixth Sense level 1, so she can delay.
It's just got to be frustrating, right? You're like, well, I have to take it because of these cards.
Yeah.
And in highly classified, 3 out of the 4 could be those hacking cards. And if I don't have it, I'm screwed. So the next faction, Hawk Islam, doesn't really play this game of we're going to have a super efficient multitasker to go do lots and lots of cards. There are a couple of options, but I think what Hawk Islam is better at is having lots of guys that are inexpensive and redundant that do one thing really well. But as far as multitaskers go, I only have 2 for Hawk, right? And I suppose I could include 3. I could include the Al Hawa
as one because it is camoed infiltrator, right? It's so I suppose I could include that and get all the way up, and it's got the assault hacking device has decharges as well, so it does multitask a little bit, right? But it doesn't cover the veteran at all or medium infantry, right? Because it's a specially trained troop and skirmisher, so it doesn't have any of those. So it's kind of a multitasker. I guess that would have to be my number 3.
My number 3 would have to be Rajik. Again, with this AD combat, it's kind of a theme for me. Because elite, medium infantry, hacker.
I want to remind everybody how he started by saying, I don't like to take 80 combat jump.
But yeah, that was mine, coming in at a score of a 13. It's just, there's a lot of times where the only problem with taking them is what I've seen is now that hackers are a thing, it actually does limit where you can land. Because if there's a killer hacker next to somebody you want to get to, you're like, oh, crap. I mean, it helps now that the new combat jump rules, you don't have to put the template down. It's just wherever you can put your base on that will wholly fit.
Yeah.
So that helps, and that's kind of why they bumped up to these multitaskers, because it's the new rule for this season. But doing 13's not bad.
If he had one more thing, if he had a visor, if he had the decharges, just one more thing, I think it would have made it. Because my 2 that actually made the list are both 14.
Okay.
They can both do 14 of the cards. And coming in number 2 is the Drew's Assault Hacker. Not the Killer Hacker. The Drew's Assault Hacker. Because the Killer Hacking device doesn't have Spotlight, which is 2 of the cards. He's veteran. They're medium infantry. He's got the assault hacking device, which does 5 cards on its own. He's got decharges as well. Hacker with decharges. Mwah. And he's whip 13, which is good. He's armor 3, which is good. Only 1 wound, but he's got regeneration if you need to get him back up. And fatality. So he's running around with a damage 14 combi rifle. And I said regeneration.
Time out. Yeah, I was like, wait. I thought you were still talking about Drew's.
When my eyes went down to the page, I went to my John Bazan.
Yeah,
which we'll get to in a second. Holy crap!
Yeah,
let's start over. So my number 2 is Drew's, which can do 14 because he's veteran, medium infantry. Got the assault hacking device, which can do 5 on its own. He's got decharges. He's armor 3 with a wound, and he has fatality. Yeah, that time I looked. I didn't take my eyes off it. He's got fatality, so he's running around with a damage 14 combi rifle. At whip 13, but he's only running around at 4.2.
Yeah, I mean, medium infantry, though, getting to start at 16 inches. That's also my number 2 for Hawk. They're even higher up in the Drew's sectorial, but I've playing with these models. It's kind of ridiculous how useful they are, even when you're using them in like a vanilla faction. So that was definitely high up on my list. And the fun thing is with that Predator, they're only close combat 15, but your 2 options are a viral pistol and a knife. So that's awesome because then you can definitely start killing people because viral pistol all the way in close combat. Super, super nice.
Close combat 15 is not awful.
No, it's not bad.
My number 1 is spoiler alert, is the John Bazan. Assault hacker as well, can also do 14. It does the same things. It's elite instead of veteran. It's medium infantry. It has a hacking device. It has MSV. So where the Drew's has the decharges to do that classified, the John Bazan has MSV to do that classified. So it's just a trade-off really. But they're 1 higher willpower at 14. They're still starting advanced or forward deployed. With their 4-2 movement. And these are the ones that have regeneration.
Yeah, regeneration.
so that you can get back up and keep going. But hack is not really about the multitasker. It's more about the... because if you're playing vanilla, you may not be taking the John Bazan hacker, right? You're probably taking the John Bazan HMG, spending your specialist points on other things to make use of that MSV2. And... that's fine because Hawk is more about, like I said, the unitaskers that are really good at what they do because of the high willpower that is innate to the faction.
but you have multiples of them because they are cheaper and they are everywhere and they're coming for you. So they don't necessarily need to play the efficiency game here.
Yep, it's kind of a theme too, like all those.
So you hit limited insertion.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Now these are important.
Yep. I was like, it's usually you're facing like that 15 to 20 order list. It's like, well, it doesn't matter if they can't multitask, have the orders. But yeah, limited insertion.
All right. So do you have any other standouts in Hawk Islam that you want to talk about?
I mean, I like the Janissary Doctor as an honorable mention, just because it's heavy infantry, veteran. It's got the Doctor, so you can go do the nano espionage.
Did I misunderstand you? Did you say John Bazan Doctor?
Janissary.
Doctor.
Akbar Doctor. So that was my honorable mention at 11 points. It's 2 wounds. Armor 4 is not too bad. But like I said, yeah, it's a Doctor and it's a veteran heavy infantry, so it does all the bonus ones and can do nano espionage if that one pops up. Because like that one's a weird one because it's like, or your data tracker. But if your mission doesn't have a data tracker, then you need a doctor or paramedic to get it. So that was the honorable mention in Hawk.
We're going to do 11 of them?
11, yeah.
Yep. All right, so Nomads includes the highest efficiency model in the game. Mm-hmm. Save that for number 1. Little spoiler. My third place, though, goes for a model that never saw until Tunguska came out. Really. That's the Grenzer Forward Observer.
Nice.
Can do 11 of the class. So here's the thing. Yes, Nomads have some infiltrators and specialists, but they can't do a ton of, like, they're more unitaskers, right? But the Grenzer Forward Observer can do 11 of the cards because he is a veteran, because he's medium infantry, therefore forward deploying, even though he's a 4-2 movement. He's a forward observer. He has MSV, and he has sensor. The MSV and the sensor kind of overlap because they do the same ones. Same one. But he's whip 13. He's armor 3. So he's not bad for the points there. 27 points, no SWC. Combi rifle, light flamethrower. It's a good little piece.
Oh,
especially in Tunguska if you're running a Grenzer fire team, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're moving up and doing things. He's going to be a big part of it because he can do 11 of the cards just on his own. Are you thinking on air, Kip?
No, I just had these 2 in my head. I think I'm going to go my number 3, Zonautica.
Really?
Yeah, because I had them at 12. Because they are elite and they're hackers, so they can do the 5 hacker plus spotlight. But I like the 8-4 move, and I like that you can jump off your bike and kind of clear out where you need to go to accomplish the classifieds, and you have smoke to do it. Mm-hmm. So I really like that.
Yeah.
God, there's so many. Like they had so many that like made my at least 10-point list.
So you can do what? 12 of them?
12, yeah. They had 12 on there.
And my number 2. Now, I always see these guys with HMGs or sniper rifles.
Oh, that's so funny that my Zonautica just beat that out.
But the Intruder Hacker...
Yes.
Intruder Hacker. He can do 14 classifieds all on his own.
Yep.
Because he is elite, because he's medium infantry. Mm-hmm. He has MSV, so that takes care of 1. He has the hacking device, which takes care of 5. Right? Mm-hmm. Whip 14 is excellent. Armor 3 is excellent. Only the 1 wound. But he's camouflaged, and he does not infiltrate, but he does now have forward deployment this season, even though he's only 4-2. But he also has the benefit of that multi-terrain to get through difficult, so that 2's not going to hamper him, especially if he's moving and shooting, moving and pressing a button, moving and doing a classified. So Intruder Hacker's number 2 for me because it can do 14 of them.
No, that's funny. I just, that's what I was thinking on air about. My number 2, hey, guess what it is? Hellcat Hacker. Because it's 80 combat jump. And it's a medium infantry elite trooper. So, I mean, being able to go wherever you need to go and having them protected is huge, and you don't need like I said, the non-template thing like kind of makes them a little bit better for me this season. And
If
a lot of these ones, it's like you just need them by the end of the game, so you could hold them in reserve with.
Telling you, it could be a trap. You're still having to roll. I still prefer walking them off the side.
Well, you can again, walking them off side's nice, and being all the HVT ones that you need to be an elite or medium infantry or heavy infantry for, you can walk right up to that person.
An intruder with an Evo hacker is a 75% chance of success, which I will fail 80% of the time.
But no, I like the Hellcats. Some of my older favorite models too. So I had to go with them.
So they actually make an appearance in a later faction for me, where I was going to say, and yeah, I could have thrown them in Nomads as well. So I totally agree. But yeah, 75% of the time I will fail it. 80% of the time, Hellcats with a physique of 12 plus. And so there's a clear number one, because on their own, they can do 16 out of your 20 cards.
Yeah.
And so it's Zoe. Zoe can do, of Zoe and Pywell fame, Zoe can do 16 of the cards on her own because she's a veteran. Because she's a character, she is therefore veteran. So there's 3 that she can do. She has the hacking device, and so there's 5 more that she can do. She's an engineer as well, because why not? It's like they use the Spec Ops rules.
Right.
Oh, I got 12 points to make a Spec Ops. Here I go. And she carries D charges. So yeah, she's covering 16 cards all on her lonesome. She is Whip 15, so she's very good at pushing buttons and doing classified things. Whip 15 is amazing. Her downfall, though, is for 28 points. It is a Armor 1 model with 1 wound.
Yeah.
So she is very fragile. But you have Jaguars and things that can throw smoke to make sure that she can get where she needs to go. The other downfall is light infantry doesn't get that 4-inch bonus to the deployment zone that I was really hoping for when I was thinking about her. And when I looked, light infantry, womp.
Yeah, I know, right?
But then she comes with Pywell.
Yeah, I was like, Pywell's not that bad either, though.
He's also a veteran because he's a character. And he covers one of her holes by being a forward observer. So there's 2 more. You're up to 18 between the 2 of them, right? And he has sensor.
So he can do...
Which covers that biometric visor MSV sensor card, which is called
Identity check.
Identity check. And so now you're up to, between the 2 of them, you're up to 19 out of the 20 cards.
That's so awesome.
The only one they can't do is that one that requires a medium infantry or heavy infantry. It's the only one.
Oh, that's true.
That is the only one.
Doctor and paramedics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
but
there's those 2.
how did I get up to 18 then?
You're probably adding them together.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, because I did the same thing. So on paper it looks good, but they can do 17 out of the 20.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. That's really, really good. Because I did the same thing on mine. I was like, oh, my mask's going to look weird.
Oh, I know where I got the extra ones. He's a forward observer, but she has the hacking device.
Yeah.
So they're doubling up on those 2.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
That's where I foobarred. But yeah, 17 out of the 20. If you take Zoe and Pywell, cost you 47 points. Even though you buy them together, there is nothing on there that says they are synced or a fire team or anything. You'd be on total opposite sides of the planet with those 2.
Yeah, because he's remote presence. Not.
He's just a dude.
Yep, he's a dude.
He is just a separate dude.
Yeah, that's a clear number 1 maybe in all of the factions. Of
as far as efficiency goes, yes. There's definitely ones that are more survivable. Combined Army, Kip.
I was pretty surprised that they didn't have a lot.
I agree with you. There are not a lot, and it's because all of those good, powerful specialists like the Carotid and Anathematic are headquarters troops.
Yeah.
Which doesn't fit into that veteran elite chain of command that has 3 different cards.
So third place for me is Dr. Worm.
Ooh, good one. He didn't even make my list.
He can only do 11 of the cards, and 4 of them probably not very reliably. But he is a doctor and an engineer and has D charges, so that by itself makes him a little more. And he can take the little bots, so he doesn't have to expose himself to go do some of them. He can use his slave drones to do it for him. So that's why he comes in at number 3.
All right, this is hard for me to do, but I'm going off of straight bias. So my number 3, I didn't even think of Dr. Worm. Go Malignos at 12. Malignos Hacker. It's a veteran hacker. So it can do all of the things we have said, but doesn't get the medium infantry or heavy infantry one. But you're TO Camo Infiltrator, so you're closer to do rescue, extremist, recovery, extreme prejudice. Close combat 13, it's going to be hard to kill 2 people in close combat unless you're going after cheerleaders. But you are in hidden deployment.
Hey, he can still surprise attack.
Yeah, that's very true.
Even though he's not good at close combat, he can still come out of surprise attack to do the close combat and impose that -6.
You know what's funny is he can knock that out on somebody that's like 19 and knock them down to his normal.
It's just a dice off.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. With a knife.
With
Such
a
shock.
Yeah. It's not a great option. But he's my number 2, the Malignos, at being able to do 12 of the cards. Only because he can do 12 and my number 1 can do 14. But he's actually the one I would prefer to take over the one that can do 14 because he is infiltrated up the middle and he's in hidden deployment. Come out and do the thing with 4/4 move, multi-terrain, and an auto medikit should something befall him along the way. So definitely like the Malignos Hacker, who is probably the one I prefer the most, but the one who can do the most that I found in Combined Army is the Yao-Gat Hacker. He can do 14 of the cards because he is elite. And he's medium infantry. Forward deployment. He has MSV and he has a hacking device. So that's a lot of the cards he can cover there at Whip 13, which is not bad. Armor 3 is great. Only 1 wound. And so you're still going to need Dr. Worm and a slave drone to go bring him back to life. And he's only 4/2 move, but the armory is interesting. He's got a combi rifle and grenades.
Yes. Hey, those can get you out of some pretty dicey situations when somebody's hiding up on a...
Right, he overextends himself. He's up there near a console, and then here comes a fire team. Well...
Throwing grenades.
I'm going to chuck a grenade at you. Hit all 5 of you sons of guns.
That's funny. My number 2...
Okay, fire team dodges. Sweet, I'm going to keep whipping grenades at you. Okay, fire team leader shoots back. Cool, the other 4 get hit.
Yeah. I like that. No, they're really, really efficient. Especially like you said in the armory. Come through the door.
No, I meant his personal armory, his armament.
Oh, I thought you meant armory, because then you're all bunched up going through that door.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 different things. My number 2 was the Umbra Legat Hacker.
See, I was excited at the prospect of, okay, how many of these cards can these Umbras do? And it's not many.
It's 12. Because they're elite. Hacker. And they can do all 4. But, the 4 non-rex, which I call them. But they're close combat 21. So it's like doing the Predator thing can
and
work.
6-inch first move.
Yeah, it's 6-2 move. No handicap helps. Boarding shotgun and flash pulse. Flash pulse can work for you in a pinch. That's why they're my number 2.
It's the lack of diversity, I guess. Yeah, they get up to 12 because they can do all 5 of the hacking ones, but they're just doing the hacking ones, and 2 of those are forward observing ones. And it's like they didn't have anything extra, like they're not medium infantry or heavy infantry, so they can't do that one. They don't have a visor, so they can't do that one. They don't have D charges, so they can't do that one. Those ones that you're going to draw and just not have the equipment to do it. So I kept looking for the things that doubled up, like a hacker with D charges was like, whoa. to me.
No, I liked them because usually you're going to be rolling up in like net undermine. You need to be an elite troop, and it's like make a whip roll while totally inside the enemy's half of the table. Well, they get 4 deployment level 2, so you can do that fairly quickly. Them being elite, and I like the 4 non-requirement ones they can do fairly quickly. My number 1 was the Umbra Samaritan. For all of the
I didn't like either of
same-
the Umbras for all of the same
I was like,
reasons.
for the same reason. I just had him number 1 because he's got a
they're
little bit
silly,
more survivable.
They are silly fragile for being
Against shock, yeah.
for being 40 plus points. They are silly fragile. I mean, yeah, theoretically the Samaritan can go get more wounds, right? Mm-hmm. Theoretically, the no wound in cap will help the Umbra, but yeah, 1 shock round with an MSV1 guy, right?
Oh yeah, use day.
He's paper. So, yeah.
And again, that was biased because I play a lot of Onyx. So thinking that way, I was like, that's tasty.
Yeah, I was excited to look at him, and then I was like, they just kind of do one thing. So, speaking of doing one thing, we got Aleph. And Aleph, Sophatech has to make the list. And because it's a doctor engineer with D charges, but what makes it great is the Whip 15, the 6-4 movement, and then having the no wound in cap to help keep it alive. So it does a variety of different kinds of classifieds. It can only do 11 of the cards, but it does spread the love around a bit.
Yeah, with my third, it's funny because I want to give these guys credit because I've been doing it all around with the Extra Moy as a third, but I want to go with the Myrmidon Hacker because you're not going to see it a lot. I don't see it a lot in vanilla lists. At least I don't. I could be very wrong on this. But it's got ODD.
Yeah, the difference here is that the Ectromoy is a light infantry. All those other combat jump hackers that you were picking were all medium infantry.
Yeah, exactly. So this one's like, rather go with the Merm because you got ODD. It is a veteran, so you get to do the 3 veteran ones. You got the hacker, spotlight, so you get all those. But you're high close combat, smoke grenades, mobile. So getting up to do predator or rescue or extremist recovery, extreme prejudice, all that. If you end up drawing those, you are highly more likely to get them done.
In second place for me is the Dacius, the assault hacker. It can do 12 different ones, and it's a TO camoed infiltrator, so it's starting right up in your business. It has the 1 wound plus no wound in cap and the TO to keep it alive. It's elite, so there's 3. It's got an assault hacking device, so there's 5. So it can do, and then the 4 generic ones. So it can do 12 of the cards on its own, and it's hidden, and and it comes out of nowhere, and they're like, I thought I had your specialist locked down, and then you go right around. So Daciu for me.
You know what's funny is the reason Daciu, and I should have put this down before, is you can do the Predator out of a marker state like we just talked about with the Malignos and put somebody at a -6. So I gave her a discredit for not having good close combat next to the Myrmidon.
However,
yeah.
imposing that -6. And you don't want, you're not going to go up against somebody good. You're like taking a Metro or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually think that you beat me on that one. You know what my number 2 would be? It's actually 3, but they count as one choice. It's the Proxy Mark 1 Engineer, Mark 5 Forward Observer, Medium Infantry, and the Mark 2 Hacker. Because it's the same price as one troop.
Feels like cheating.
But I believe that their score, I had them at 14, but the way I was scoring, they might actually be a 17, because I think that I only put them down for a rescue.
I looked at them all for as individuals.
Oh, okay.
But proxies are great. Proxies are really efficient for their points.
Yep, you got your engineer, your forward observer, who's also a medium infantry, so they do
But
that.
guys, you can only ARO with one at a time.
And they're all elite.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And that the little annoying bugger with the 2 submachine guns, who's 10 points.
Yeah, it's a forward observer, medium infantry.
He's medium infantry, yep.
And then the assault hacker that also has, that's like your Dasu. It's your TO camo, infiltrating, but it's 21 points.
And the medium infantry, by the way, he already has the forward deployment level 1, so he has forward deployment level 2 this season. And he's 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, real good. Elite medium infantry, that's 4. Forward observer, that's another 2, is 6. And then the 4 generic, so he can only do 10 on his own.
But then the engineer.
He's also 10 points.
Yeah.
For 2 wounds. Well, 1 wound plus no wounding cap.
See, I count them as 1 because they count as 1 slot. Because then you also have the engineer that can do your 2 engineers and your D charges. So there's your 3. So that's 13. And then you have the assault hacker that can do your other 5. So is that 18?
I don't
He
know.
said he was 10. Something. Yeah, 17 or 18. It's pretty good.
But if I'm being honest, I'm not probably taking the engineer Mark 1.
Yeah, I know you like to use the big guys.
Number 1 on 3, 2, 1. Asura. It can do 14 different cards on its own and has 2 wounds plus no wounding cap at armor 5. Elite, heavy infantry, MSV, hacking device plus. It can do all of the things at whip 15 and a 4/4 move. Asura is pretty good.
Yeah, it's my number 1 choice.
It's whereas the Carantid or the anathematic, well, the Carantid specifically didn't make my list, is because for him to become the hacker, he loses that MSV3. Whereas she just keeps it on all the profiles.
Yeah.
So definitely number 1 for efficiency is the Asura hacker. And then, hey, give her lieutenant level 2.
Yep.
And over in the OSS, because I'm gonna spend my lieutenant order on her anyway. Might as well spend 2 lieutenant orders on her.
Yeah, OSS gets some crazy bonuses, man.
So yeah, here she's good.
Yep, I figured that was going to be a hands down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Telha is
Talk
up
about
next. Kind of, but. Here's the thing. This is also not their game. So, yes, I only have 2 choices. The first one can do 11 of the cards, and just like I picked Dr. Worm and just like I picked the Sophatect, the Kumotil Bioengineer makes an appearance because of the diversity of skills. Doctor, Engineer, D charges, can do 11 cards, whip 14, super fragile, armor 1, 1 wound.
I'm just going to have to go with you on that because I actually only had 1 that was like what I really liked.
So is it Alis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alis Kisan can do 12 of the cards.
Yeah.
Because she's veteran. She has a killer hacking device. So she can't do the 2 forward observer ones, but she's got the other 3 hacker ones down. She has sensors, so she can do that one. She has D charges. Like, she is like the perfect example of she brings the toolkit to do the biggest variety. Even though it's ultimately only 12 cards, she definitely has the biggest variety. Whip 14, armor 2 and 1 wound, but has regeneration.
Yeah, like that. I mean, I had my 2 runners up were the Sukio and the Kotel, but
Well, here's the thing. Toha don't play the one model is efficient at doing many. It's not a jack of all trades on its own. Instead, they play the game where almost everything has triad, fire team triad, and you can put these things together so that these models activate as one unit. So it's like having one model with 3 separate parts that can bring a bunch of tools to the table. For example, if you were to bring the Kumotil Bioengineer, who we already mentioned, and Alis Kisan, who we already mentioned, and add in a Gao Rail Spitfire, who has MSV, you are up to 18 of the cards already.
oh, nice. There you go.
The only 2 cards you can't do are the Forward Observer ones. And let's face it, you're going to have a Calypsos Infiltrator
Right.
Forward Observer
Right.
to do that anyway. But you probably don't want the Gao Rail Spitfire because you've already got the K1 Combi as your gun platform and a Triad getting burst 1. So what we really need here is Eclipse Smoke to get them to where they're going. So you're taking the McCall, which brings them back down to 17 of the cards that they can do. Right? So that's the game that they play, is putting all of their little components together and making very efficient triads. And, oh, by the way, that's one triad that can do almost every card in the deck. You still have 3 more triads, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
So that's the game that they play. Their efficiency comes from finding those units with Fireteam Triad and putting them together and covering bases to go get work done.
Agreed.
Any other
No.
Toha? No, you're done on the Toha?
You know what's funny is I didn't even think about going into... So we're doing like vanilla, right? Then we get to Toha, and it's like, no, that's just how Toha works. So I didn't even get into like fire teams or whatnot. So I'm glad you made that assessment.
Yeah, so...
F the Toha.
And so Bill Evans won Arizona Armageddon playing Toha.
Yay, Bill.
It's his first time playing Toha.
Ever. First 5 games, he said?
And the first day he wore a T-shirt that said F the Toha.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Cody, #3 the Toha, of course, was like, hey, I'm personally offended by that. Because he didn't realize that Bill was playing Toha.
Oh, that's funny.
As he wore the shirt. And he was, of course, kidding regardless. But
Yeah.
even still. So it's going to go even quicker than Toha
Yeah, I know, right?
is NA2.
Okay.
Not a lot for NA2. So Drews, for example.
Yep.
They have that Drews Assault Hacker that we already talked about over in Hawk Islam with being able to do 14 cards. And now he's probably going to be linked
Yep.
with some cool dudes that can cover other holes.
Like Arslan, because he has MSV1, but gives you that identity check. And let me tell you what, he's actually not that bad, Tom, because I've used him quite a bit, and he on paper you're just like, it's just but I've gone through a couple games with him, and he's not that bad.
Yeah, so on his own, not great for what we're discussing, which is multitasking.
Yeah, no, I meant...
But as part of a Drew's Fire
Yes.
team in Bayram,
said add in that, then yeah, you totally have that. And you could put in a Brawler Doctor in that fire team or a Brawler Engineer in that fire
now
team.
you put in the Drew's Paramedic to cover the Doctor ones, and then, because you can only add one Brawler, so
Yep.
you had the Brawler Engineer to
There you
cover
go.
those. And you can get it covered in Drew's, but there's not a lot of multitaskers there just off the bat.
It's just the Drews.
Probably even worse is JSA.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so
I literally have Eureka. Oda.
Eureka's kind of cool, and she can do 11 of them.
That's all I have.
So...
Yeah, but again, one of those factions, it's like people do their own things. But man, playing...
like no medium infantry at all.
No.
In the faction. So, and then the heavy infantry, not a lot of specialists. Like you got your Karakuri, which is good because they're forward observers and they're survivable, so they can probably get around to do either the heavy infantry thing or the forward observer thing. But as far as multitaskers go, no, not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Just gave me sweaty palms thinking about highly classified and playing JSA.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I need a good draw.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like Predator's like no problem.
No, totally. You got that. Yeah, and I've been playing them in our little Slogger League. And there was a lot of times where you're fighting for just that. I just need to do this and this, and I'll get my minor.
I got nothing for Akari.
Drews. Again, the Drews Hacker. Because they can do a 4 fire team with a Tonko. So you can make it viable to actually take them. And then you get the benefit of taking some of the other things that they have.
Yeah, and the Tonka will bring the heavy infantry element in.
Yeah. That's what you got.
I mean, except that the Drews are already medium, so
Yeah.
never mind.
No, it just makes a 5-member.
Yeah, so...
Kari's rough, though. Kari is definitely rough.
All right, so in Starco, this is where you have that Hellcat Assault Hacker that can do 13 of the cards. It's elite, medium infantry, assault hacking device, right? Whip 13 with the combat jump. You talked about it during Nomads, and I said, yeah, I saved it for Starco because there was precious little else other than what we also talked about as my like sort of throwaway one in Hakazlan, which is the Al Hawa, which I guess can do like 10 different ones because it's got the assault hacking device and decharges. So
The other one that I have for Starco,
so that's 10. Yeah. What?
and it's actually really good in Starco, the Mobile Brigada. And because it is a veteran troop,
Sure.
and you have a hacker, and it can be in a fire team with a Doctari and Senior Massacre.
Yeah.
So you can cover, I believe he covers the 13, and then you get the other 3 with the Doctor. So that's 16 basically in there, because you can do the 2 Doctor ones and Nano Espionage with your Doctari. You have some backup for your Mobile Brigadas with your hacker in there, you know, if people are going to hack you back, but I put them in there.
I only get to 12, but... So you get... because it's a hacker, you can do 5. Veteran troops adds 3 more, is 8. Heavy infantry adds 1 is 9. Adding Doctari adds 3 more is 12.
And then the 4.
And then your 4 generics is 16. No. So you're just not, what, forward observing,
Yeah.
MSV-ing,
Yeah, forward observer,
and decharging.
MSV, decharge, engineer. So I had him in there. I mean, in Starco, it's a pretty good choice
I mean, I guess, yeah, it's pretty good.
because that's all you got.
That's so many points for that link.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So there are your I think Zoe and Pywell and the Asura.
Yeah,
Just so many points.
Hey, the Asura is worth it though.
Dao Fei, Father Knight Hacker. There are some really good choices. Like the AD Combat Jump Assault Hackers can do a bunch of them. But there's definitely opportunity out there for you to select some troops who cover a broad range of classifieds, so you don't really have to take one of each. I remember when it first came out, you're like, I got to take a doctor, and I got to take an engineer, and I got to take a forest. All of a sudden, I took these 6 models, and I haven't spent any points on the things I want yet. Right? When ITS introduced classifieds for the first time. So it's sort of reintroducing them, but it's not so bad. There are a lot of options out there that can do multiple things. And when I'm selecting specialists, especially in missions where you get points for killing more specialists, so you want to take fewer to give your opponent the opportunity to kill less, these efficient ones that can do many of the cards all on their own will be very useful.
After doing this list, really I want to go back and play Drews for a bit. Drews and US Ariadna, just because of the new 4 deployment rules, which is pretty fun.
Cool, man. So the moment that everyone has been waiting for, it is time for us to get into the MayaCast Masterclass and announce the winners of our Quarter 3 contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MayaCast Masterclass.
Congratulations to everyone who entered the MayaCast Masterclass for Quarter 3 Heroes and Villains. We had 44 entries, which is pretty good. And hopefully for Quarter 4, we can break that 50 mark. And so congratulations to everybody who entered. A lot of really fantastic conversions and paint jobs. A lot of good hard work out there. I'm really proud of all of you that took the time to enter. We really appreciate it. If you have not seen the gallery, go onto our Facebook and look for the MCMGQ3 Heroes and Villains gallery and look at all of the amazing entries. As always, most of the prizes we give away are based on a random.org selection of the names of everybody who entered. The more people that enter, the more prizes we give away. And then the only, merit-based prize is for the one that we thought overall did the absolute best, and they get a personalized, monogrammed MayaCast Master Glass with their name on it, and they can choose either a rocks glass or a pint glass. And so that's how we roll. That way, if you think, oh, I'm never going to paint as good as that guy that just won, doesn't matter. Most of the prizes go to anybody who enters. So we encourage your participation. We are going to jump right into the winners of the random prizes. And the winner of a random blister, any infinity blister of their choice for their participation, and thanks to random.org, is
Mr. Derek Dowhauer.
It's very funny because Mr. Derek Dowhauer actually came to visit us in Arizona. He was here for work and came out to game night 2 nights in 1 week. And played some games with some of the locals. I did not get to play him, but he was here. Really nice guy. I was asking how he can... So he walked in on Monday night, and we're in the middle of that Escalation League. Plus, everybody's getting ready for Arizona Armageddon. And we had, 16, 18 people playing all at once. And he literally said, this is the most people I've ever seen playing Infinity at one time.
Oh, wow.
And so Armageddon would have blown him away.
Yeah, I know, right?
But he was just here.
That's
and
awesome.
So that's it's like we said last week. We go to these events, we meet all these people. It's inevitable that eventually we're just going to know everybody that we're giving prizes away to. And so congratulations, Derek, on a blister pack of your choice. Send us your choice and your mailing address, and we will get it out to you. We're going to give another way. We are going to give away another blister pack. And the lucky winner of that is...
Ryan Lieb.
Is it Lieb or Lieb?
Lieb. I don't know.
L-E-I-B.
Let's go Lieb. Well, Lieb, wouldn't you think it'd be L-I? Because that's like Lieb. Labe.
Ryan Lieb or Ryan Lieb. L-E-I-B.
Yeah, there you go.
Another random... nope. Another blister pack of your choice. Not another random blister pack. That's just... So yeah, congratulations to you. And then we're going to give away a boxed set of miniatures, a standard size Infinity box set. Could be a tag, could be a faction starter, could be a support box, whatever. A box and an SWC box, doesn't matter. A box set of miniatures goes to very similar name.
I was just going to say, we're about to do this all over again. It is John Libby.
It's the same L-E-I-B, but then with 2 E's after it. So congratulations, Mr. Libby. Let us know what you want, and we don't need your mailing address. We will give it to you because you are here. And so that brings us up to the winner of MayaCast Masterclass Quarter 3, Heroes and Villains. This person created a complete story for the character of their entry. And not only was the painting excellent, the conversion work was amazing. They took a Salamander tag, converted it into, I assume, what will play as an Oyori conversion. They called it Ronin of the Okanami Company. And it was a Salamander conversion that's all red with white detail. Like, it looks... If you just sort of glance past it, you might think it's a Daiokai.
That's what I thought it was at first.
Because it has all those design elements of the big round hat and the flags on the back. And painted on the hat is Hokusai's The Great Wave off of Tanagawa, the famous Japanese, like, not painting, it's like a woodblock imprint.
Like those.
But it's the blue wave with the white caps on it, the famous Japanese art. And so that's on there. It is amazing. And that winner is Ben Hardy.
Good freaking job, Ben. Blew me away. In the emails, he's gave his work in progress, like a couple of greens, as you would say. But it was like the plastic card and all that.
Incredible work. Absolutely blown away. Absolutely stunning. Amazing. There were a lot of other good entries as well. I feel like if we talk a lot about certain entries, then the people that don't get talked about might feel
left out,
insulted or left out. Sure. So I don't want to do that, but I do want to give all the props to Ben Hardy, winner of MayaCast Masterclass Quarter 3,
with his Ronin tag conversion. Absolutely amazing, unbelievable, fantastical. And so good job to you, good sir. And to all of you winners, please email us at tom@mayacast.com.
And kip@mycast.com.
And tell us what you want on your glass or what box or blister pack you want, as well as your shipping addresses, and we will get those prizes out to you. Congratulations to everybody who participated. Hopefully you will all come back for quarter 4 and participate again, and tell your friends and get them to do it as well, so that we can have even more entries and give even more prizes away. So that brings us to MayaCast Masterclass quarter 4, which will be due at the end of the year because it's the 4th quarter. This is probably obvious to everyone, but the theme for quarter 4 is going to be Xenotech. We want to see what you're using for your Xenotech. Conversion, painted HVT, whatever it happens to be. We want painted models of your Xenotech, since you're already getting them ready for Season X anyway. Season 10, Xenotech. We want to see your Xenotech model that you're going to be using to represent him. And if you were just going to use one of your old, still silver out of the box HVTs from when you kickstarted the role playing game, well, maybe throw a lick of paint on it. So that's our quarter 4 theme, Xenotech. We want to see what model you're using for your Xenotechs. Rules of the game are, we want it to be new for the contest and not shown off on the internets before we see it for the contest. So that's why we require a before picture. An unpainted, could be primed, could even have a base coat on it if you just started it. You know, as long as it's not finished and it hasn't been shown off online, take a before picture that's time or date stamped. Most people put like their iPad behind it or whatever with the time and date. And so you take that one picture and you hold on to that as you work on it. Once it's all done, you take up to 4 completed pictures of the final product. And then you do your white balance and you do your cropping and you get your pictures all set, and then you rename them. And you rename them with your name. Joachim Forsberg 1, Joachim Forsberg 2, Joachim Forsberg 3, Joachim Forsberg 4. And then like before, or you don't even have to name the one that's your before picture. Don't even have to touch it, but rename your 4 final pictures. That really helps us out in the back end. And then you email all of those pictures at once to tom@mayacast.com
And kip@mycast.com.
And then they all go into a gallery, pick a winner, and everybody wins. And the more winning, the more entries we get, the more prizes we give out. So yeah, we want to see your Xenotechs. That's what we want to see.
Just like the way that sounded, Xenotechs. Not shooting Xenotechs.
Yeah, there's always prizes for humor as well. But yeah, we want to see your Xenotechs. That's the quarter 4 contest. You're going to do them anyway, right? So doing double duty, making it easy for the holiday season. So Xenotech, MayaCast Masterclass quarter 4. Get those entries in before it's 2019, and you will be good to go. The sooner you do it, the better, because then you're going to get all caught up in Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah, I know, Canada, you already had your Thanksgiving. Christmas and Black Friday and New Year's and all that stuff and all the family stuff, and you're going to run out of time. So get on it early. That's our new theme. Congratulations, Ben Hardy. Congratulations to all of the entries. And I hope I get to see that tag in person someday, because that is just amazing. And maybe, if we're all really lucky, he will let us, or he'll do it on his own, share all those work in progress shots with you so you can see all of the plastic card work and gray stuff work that he did to convert that salamander into the Ronin tag. It is beautiful. So that's going to do it for episode 202, Multitasking. And with all the different topics we hit with the classified multitaskers and the Masterclass and all the Patreon winners and our errata about the Xenotech stupidness, we definitely multitasked tonight. Multitasketed.
I was multitasted and medicated.
E. coli.
Although it's wearing off on me right now.
Oh, no. So we got to wrap this up before Kip destroys my bathroom. So thank you so much for listening, and we really appreciate it. Thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com, and we'll see you next time for episode 203, where we're going to talk about something related to infinity. Don't you worry. It's going to happen. We don't know what that is. Thanks a lot, and until next time, get out there and support your local game store.
To find out how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/MayaCast.
You can find us online at www.mayacast.com.
We are on Facebook at facebook.com/InfinityMayaCast.
Follow at Maya Podcast on Twitter.
Join the MayaCast forum group on Facebook.
And as always, you can email us at tom@mayacast.com.
And Kip at MayaCast.com.